And good evening, everybody. We are getting ready for Muddy Night Lights. No, I'm not Matt Shuckman. I'm Bob Goff, and our friend Matt is a little under the weather tonight. Of course, we wish him well, and he'll be back here next week. So I'm here in the meantime, and we're going to have a great show. We've almost got most of our scores in already. Our staff's done a great job stepping up and filling in on Matt's behalf, and big night of action all over Quincy and all over West Central Illinois and Northeast Missouri. So great stuff going on all over. We've got a lot of finals. We've got a couple still in progress. Senior night at Quincy means that the Blue Devil game's running just a little long, so we don't have a final there yet, though, although Quincy is well in command of that one. QND in Jacksonville was a big one tonight. We're going to talk with Eric Irvin from the Raider Sports Network to find out just how the Raiders did over in Jacksonville. On the Missouri side, Clarence Cannon Conference title might have been decided tonight in Shelby County. We will talk to head coach Adam Gunnerman to talk about how his team fared tonight, and the Hannibal Pirates looking to bounce back in North Central Missouri Conference action against Moberly. Of course, the big news this week is that the remaining schools of the conference have voted to dissolve, so next year will be the last year of the North Central Missouri Conference. Where are the Hannibal Pirates going to play? Well, that's going to be a big question. Shane Halsey's at the game tonight. He and I are also going to talk about that a little bit, and he's going to spend a little time over on our couch. So anyway, a great night, a big lineup, lots of games. Join us at 10 o'clock for Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farmer Home Supply. Welcome, everybody, to Muddy Night Lights. I'm Bob Goff, sitting in for my friend Matt Schuckman. He is a little bit under the weather. He'll be here next week. In the meantime, you get me, and we have had a ton of action tonight. We're going to start things off on the Illinois side of the river, and there was a lot of great stuff going on tonight. The Quincy High Blue Devils absolutely rolled over Sterling. Now, Sterling entered the game second place in the Western Big Six, so if any team still had a chance to challenge the Blue Devils, it was going to be Sterling. But Sterling was not up to the task, and the final from Flynn Stadium on senior night was 63-6. And Rick Little, the coach, just doing a magnificent job there, and Braden Little, the quarterback, 19 of 25 for 359 yards and 3 touchdown passes. Just an absolutely fantastic game. Rice had 5 touchdowns. Quincy High with 454 yards total in the first half. Sterling only had 87. Running clock throughout the second half, and the starters sat in the second half for the Blue Devils, but 63-6 was your final. We will be talking to Coach Rick Little later on tonight as the Blue Devils. An impressive win. The Western Big Six crown is right in their grasp. I don't think anybody else can catch them now. We had another great game over in Central Illinois in Jacksonville, and there the QND Raiders. I tell you what, when we started when this season started, myself and a lot of people thought, have the Raiders bit off more than they can chew going to the Central State 8? The answer has been a resounding no. I mean, ever since they lost that opener to Quincy High, who's the number 2 team in 7A, the Raiders have just rolled. When they jumped all over Sacred Heart Griffin early on, and they haven't looked back. And they did it again tonight in Jacksonville, 35-21. QND in command of their division of the Central State 8. And again, a top-ranked team in their own right, in their own class. We will be talking to Eric Irvin, who is the voice of the Raider Sports Network coming up. And we will talk to Eric and just to find out his thoughts on tonight's big win for QND. Also on the Illinois side of the river, Pittsfield gets a win. The Sawkeys, I tell you what, a little bit of a bounce-back season for the Sawkeys, 41-14 over Pleasant Plains, but a little closer to home, Steer Hill and Adams County, Camp Point Central, Brad Dixon's guys. We're going to be talking to Brad Dixon here in just a little bit. 56-0 over Triopia. So Camp Point Central in command in the WIVC. I think Brad Dixon's going to be very pleased with this performance as the Panthers continue to flex their muscles. Only one loss so far. Of course, they lost earlier in the season to Calhoun, but just an outstanding effort for the Panthers tonight over in Central. Steve Inger covered that game for us. You'll be able to get a full write-up on that tomorrow on Muddy River Sports. Macomb, boy, the Bombers took a tough one tonight. Elmwood Brimfield knocks off Macomb 31-28. Just excellent work by the Bombers. They got it close, but they could not finish. And Elmwood Brimfield knocks off the Bombers. And they've been playing some good football over there in Macomb, but tonight just not the case. They could not. They're still playing good football. They just lost a tough one tonight. Mentioned the Sawkeys earlier, getting that big win over Pleasant Plains. Sawkeys have had a rough go in the Sangamo since they slid over to that conference a few years back, but picked up a few wins this year, and Pittsfield is, again, 41-14, good solid win over Pleasant Plains, and the Pittsfield faithful got to be real happy that that team is getting back on track a little bit. The Illini West Chargers, a big win, 34-7 over Bureau Valley, as Illini West comes up and manages to pick up a victory tonight. Knoxville over West Hancock, 80-52. I'm going to say it's the highest scoring game of the year so far in our area. 80-52. West Hancock takes it on the chin to Knoxville. Again, 132 points scored in that game. That's pretty remarkable. Also, the Brown County Hornets, they bounced back nicely. 52-32 over Jacksonville Route, as Brown County gets a win in Mount Sterling against the Route Rockets. So Brown County, again, looking strong. Tom Little, a team picking up the victory there. So congratulations to the Hornets on a big win there. So that's going to set up our Illinois side of the river for you. Let's head over to Missouri. Hannibal, boy, Pirates really looking to come back from last week's loss to Kirksville. First time they'd lost to the Kirksville Tigers in 20-some years. And tonight they were able to get the big win over the Moberly Spartans, 56-18. And our man Shane Halsey was over at that game, and we got a lot to talk about in that one because just some outstanding performances from the Pirates tonight. But in particular, got to talk about Landon Essig. Landon Essig had 5 touchdowns, 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown, a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown. Outstanding effort by Landon Essig as the Pirates are able to snap back and get that North Central Missouri Conference win over Moberly. We're not going to be able to say North Central Conference much longer. Hannibal and the other schools have decided to dissolve the conference. We had the departure of Helias a few years back. We have Fulton leaving next year. So Hannibal, Moberly, they're all going to be looking for new conferences to play. Can they go south to the Gateway and take on the schools from St. Charles County and Troy and the like? Do they head over to Central Missouri and try to play the Jeff City and the Columbia schools? We don't know. But the Hannibal Pirates are certainly going to be looking for a home here in the not-too-distant future. And Shane Halsey, we're going to talk a little bit about that with Shane in the second half. He's also spent some time tonight. I know he was going to talk to folks over in Moberly and Hannibal about that situation. So the demise of the North Central Missouri Conference, very sad, but you know, it's been a good football conference for a long time, but Hannibal will be looking elsewhere. Also, the Monroe City Panthers, a stunner. They lose to Lawson 29-14. So a bit of a shocker for the Monroe City Panthers. And I know that Coach Kirby's guys over there are really kind of looking forward to seeing what they could do against this tough Lawson team. But Lawson manages to come away with the victory. But the battle tonight was in Shelbina, probably for the crown of the Clarence Cannon Conference, and the Centralia Panthers. They come up on top 28-14. You know, they had that game last week against Monroe City. The quarterback looked like he was going to go down, looked like there were going to be all kinds of issues there, but resilient effort by the Panthers of Centralia tonight. 28-14. We're going to be talking to South Shelby coach Adam Gunterman late in this program as he can get his thoughts on the very tough win. Again, South Shelby I think they still have an excellent shot to go a long way in Class 1. But tonight, again, a very disappointing loss for them, I know. A couple more CCC scores for you tonight. Clark County with a big win over Palmyra, 34-28. A lot of folks were thinking that the Panthers might be able to pick up another win here, but not the case. Clark County rolls into Marion County and knocks off the Palmyra Panthers 34-28. And Macon, no trouble with the Cougars of Highland as Remington Yates has a sad face tonight. 56-12 over the Highland Cougars. Macon, a very impressive win for the Tigers as they were able to bounce back because they've had kind of a tough year as well. You know, Remy's not the only alum with a sad night tonight as my Mark Twain Tigers fell to North Callaway at the homecoming game. Thunderbirds over the Tigers 26-20. Again, put up a good fight. The Tigers did, but just not enough. And tough season right now for Coach Epperson and his boys over in center. Again, the final, North Callaway 26, Mark Twain 20. North Shelby over Knox County in an 8-man shootout, 48-34. You know, 8-man football, it's a lot of scoring. It's pretty exciting, and as we see more of these smaller high schools in Northeast Missouri continue to lose population, a lot of these schools are going to have some big questions if they're going to have to slide to 8-man. The Paris Coyotes, of course, they were the latest team over in Monroe County, and they joined the 8-man fray this year. North Shelby, kind of the trailblazer on that front for us, but the North Shelby Raiders, big win over the Knox County Eagles, 38-14. Speaking of big wins, the Bowling Green Bobcats, just another fantastic season as they continue to just tear through the Eastern Missouri Conference. Those other emo schools just aren't putting up much of a fight right now, but the Bowling Green Bobcats rolling over Montgomery County 70-14. So the Bowling Green, let's see how it happens in the postseason. They are the largest school in the emo by far, and they are certainly flexing their muscles. They're a good school. They've been cranking out some D1 talent as of late. Got some great players down there in Pike County. But we'll see if they are indeed going to be battle-tested, ready for the playoffs after they just decimate the Eastern Missouri Conference. And also, the Salisbury team comes away and knocks off the Louisiana Bulldogs 24-8. that's our complete scoreboard for tonight. We've got some interviews. We will review the scores here shortly once again. And we're going to be talking first with Coach Brad Dixon of Camp Point Central. And again, I'm Bob Goff filling in for our man Matt Shuckman. We hope Shuck's feeling better now. Understand he's home safe from his little medical stint. And of course, our prayers are with the Shuckman family. And Matt will be here next week. Don't worry about it. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking to Coach Brad Dixon of Camp Point Central. Again, you are watching Muddy Night Lights. We're right here in the Refreshment Pepsi studio, powered by Farm and Home, and want to thank Schottenkirk for sponsoring our scoreboard.
Hey you. Yeah, you watching this video. Did you know this weekend at your local Farm and Home Supply, there's a bucket sale that literally sells itself? Yes, I'm telling you to come buy me for only $3.99. You can get 15% off anything I can carry. Whether that's clothes and shoes, tools and pet food, or snacks and drinks, maybe something for hunting season. I mean, look at me. I'm so versatile, so spacious. This bucket sale's only this weekend. Stop by before this sale kicks the bucket.
Hey, grab me one too.
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships is the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues,
Ready?
future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. Which is good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
The Smart Start Transfer Career Academy lets you get your associate's degree early, starting in high school.
I graduated my associate's degree on Friday, 2 days before I graduated high school on Sunday.
It allowed me to get way, way ahead.
Having my prerequisites done is going to help me a lot, as I will get to start a year earlier than I would have without it.
It's really easy to make good connections with people that actually care about you. They helped me plan things out in a way that I definitely wouldn't have been able to do on my own. It made it really easy for me.
If you've been in a motor vehicle accident, contact McCleary Law.
There was nowhere to go. We were on a bridge.
All of a sudden, a guy started going over in our lane and hit us head on.
I couldn't even breathe. It was just unbelievable that it even happened.
We needed to get a hold of an attorney, and our first thoughts was to get a hold of Dan McCleary. Everything's pretty easy when you deal with Dan.
He got us way more than we expected to get.
We don't charge anything until we win your case. Call McCleary Law.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. We are here in the Refreshment Pepsi studios and getting ready to talk to Brad Dixon, the head coach of the Camp Point Central Panthers. He come away with another big win tonight. Coach, congratulations. Looks like you guys took control over Triopia early.
Yeah, obviously we had a chance to win the WIBC North outright, get to 6 wins, win the conference, and get back to the playoffs for the 16th straight year. And we had been on the road for 4 of our first 6 games, so it was good to be back home. Our guys were excited. And, after the things that went down in the game last Saturday, we wanted to get off to a fast start, and I was proud of our guys for doing that.
Well, congratulations on that conference title, and again, another playoff berth, and more importantly, you guys have a big, you have a conference title to defend, but you have a big state title to defend, and You know, you talked about the game last week and trying to get back on track a little more this week, but really, do you guys feel like you had a little bit of a target on your back this year?
Oh yeah, we feel like we get everyone's best game, and we're okay with that because we know when push comes to shove and we get outside of our conference has really prepared us. I mean, we've been able to win some big games against some pretty quality opponents across the state, and a lot of that's due to the fact that the teams in the WIVC are giving us challenges week in and week out, and there's different offenses and different defenses and some real quality coaching in our league, and I think that's shown. We've had a team in the championship now quite a few different times between us and Carrollton and Triopia, and so we're proud of the league, and obviously when we're winning 5 straight North championships, we're going to get everyone's best game.
And and like you said, you're in a good position now. You really want to solidify your seed, get as many home games as you can get on the road to the final. And I guess that's what it's all about, is kind of trying to just fine-tune every week and just, again, every coach's goal is to be a little better every week, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we came into the year with 17 new starters from last year, or 17 new positions that we had to fill. Obviously the Elijah Genenbachers, the Caden Ekamps, those guys everyone knows about. But we had to replace a lot of people. We've even made some changes throughout the year with Elijah playing quarterback for the last 3 or 4 weeks. His stat line tonight was 6 carries for 100 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 for 4 in the air for a touchdown, and 9 tackles on defense. I mean, he's just one of those guys, and the other guys around him are coming around. So, we shouldn't have to get our guys up for the next 2, because we've got Carrollton that's already gotten the 5 wins, and Winchester got their 5th win tonight. So we're going to play 2 playoff team to finish out the season. So it's a good test for us going into the playoffs, and we're excited for the opportunity.
Besides Elijah, who else starred for you tonight?
Yeah, offensively, we spread the ball around. We've got Caden Ekamp playing some fullback. He had a touchdown run. We got Connor Bush as a senior playing fullback as well. Nate Peters, a senior wingback, is finally back and healthy after a high ankle sprain in week 2. Curtis Rigg, Tate Eichen at tight end. So we just got a lot of weapons again on offense. We like to spread the ball around, obviously, to as many different guys as we can. And then those guys up front continue to get better. I mean, we had to replace 4 of those guys up front from last year. And so, we're a work in progress, obviously, but like you said, we're getting better, a little bit better each week. And we've been in some tough games down in Calhoun, obviously, in that 1-point loss at the end of the game. Beat a good Brown County team at their place. We beat Route at their place. So we feel like we're battle tested. Obviously, we got Carrollton, who's a great team, coming in on next Friday night. And then we got to go to Winchester. So again, we're excited for those opportunities.
Well, I'm going to let you get back at it. Again, congratulations on another win. Last question, did Steve Iyengar look like he had plenty of pork burgers or pork chops tonight?
Yeah, he did. He can definitely tell that he was pretty full when I talked to him at the end of the game. But we love having Steve. I call him my good luck charm. So whenever I see Steve doing the game, I feel pretty good about what the outcome's going to be.
He's basically our Camp Point Central beat writer, and he loves it too. He loves going over there. I know it's not just for the food. He loves the football too. Don't get me wrong.
Yes. Yep. We enjoy having him. So anytime we can get Stevie Dirt over at our place, we'll definitely do that.
All right, Brad. We'll go celebrate the win, and as always, thanks for your time, sir.
All right, thank you. Bye.
All right, that's Coach Brad Dixon, Camp Point Central. Big win over Triopia, 56-0. Let's run down the Schottenkirk scoreboard one more time before we take another break. We told you, just talked to Brad Dixon, big win. Camp Point Central clinches the WIVC North, clinches another playoff berth. Just got a state title to defend. He's got a juggernaut going over there. We've had people, I've talked to a lot of people around small college or small high school football around here, and he's really built a program that's very reminiscent of what Jim Unruh had with the Charger or with the Carthage Blue Boys back in the day. It's a lot of similarities there. Quincy, speaking of building programs, Rick Little, who we will talk to later, 63-6 over Sterling. They have just plowed through the WB6. QND over Jacksonville, 35-21. We're going to be talking to Jack Cornell. We're also going to be talking to Eric Irvin of the Raider Sports Network here a little later on. Elmwood Brimfield. I keep wanting to say Wilford Brimley. That's not right. It's Elmwood Brimfield. 31-28 over Macomb. Other Illinois scores, Illini West. Chargers get a big win over Bureau Valley, 34-7. Knoxville, 80-52 over West Hancock. 132 points. That's like Madden or something. Pittsfield over Pleasant Plains, 41-14. That's a good win for the Saukeys. Brown County, the Hornets, Tom Little's team. A good 20-point win over Jacksonville Route. Quick look at the Missouri side of the river. Hannibal bounces back from that loss to Kirksville last week. They knock off Moberly 56-18. Shane Halsey and I will chat about that one a little later on. More on the Schottenkirk scoreboard. The battle for the crown of the CCC, and it's going to be the Centralia Panthers. 28-14 over South Shelby, barring some sort of stumble by Centralia later on. Clark County, the Indians get a big win over the Palmyra Panthers, 34-28. Macon routs Highland 56-12. And Lawson over Monroe City, as Monroe City had non-conference action tonight, 29-14. Also on the scoreboard, the North Callaway Thunderbirds spoil Rawls County homecoming for the Mark Twain Tigers, 26-20. North Shelby an 8-man over Knox County, 48-34. Bowling Green, talk about teams tearing through their conferences. They just rout through the emo, 70-8-14 over Montgomery County. And Salisbury over Louisiana, 24-8. That's the Schottenkirk scoreboard. We are here in the Refreshment Pepsi Services studio, and we're going to get ready to give you some more scores and talk to some more coaches and just have a great night. We've also got the Starry Star of the Night. Don't forget that as well. And we want to thank Coach Dixon for joining us on the United Systems Hotline. We can't thank our sponsors enough, that's for sure. So anyway, you are watching Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
I love to shop online, and one thing I'm not going to screw up is a piece of jewelry that I'm going to wear for the rest of my life.
And it's as simple as just being able to see it. Like, just being able to actually physically hold it and see it, that's different than like, oh, look, I'm on the internet. Like, that looks nice, I think.
Trying on rings and seeing different sizes and the different colors, and I just want to be able to touch and feel it and have the experience. Having the experience is going to be more important to me than just adding something to a cart and clicking buy now.
There are 3 things that she's going to get asked. How did he propose? How big's the diamond? And where did he get it?
I'm proud to tell my friends that, this is where I got my ring.
I don't know. It just seems like it's kind of a no-brainer.
From your trash to your recycling, you're doing your part. You can trust us to do ours. We're a team of people working hard for you, turning problems into solutions and waste into possibilities. We're Republic Services. We haul it, we recycle it, we convert it, we even electrify it. We work where you work. We live where you live. We are Republic Services.
When you're shopping at the grocery store, do you ever wonder where your beef comes from? Here at Jersey's, we do not. We know all of our beef comes directly from GJY Beef Company in Brown County. We know that these cattle are born and raised right here in our own backyard. So next time that you're looking for a juicy burger, ribeye sandwich, or mouth-watering steak, look no further than GJY Beef Company and Jersey's Bar and Grill, 109 East Jefferson, Camp Point, Illinois.
All right, I want you to stop and think for a second of something you might need for the fall. Well, whether it's warmer clothing, maybe something for the yard, or something to snack on, it's probably on sale during the Fall Dollar Day sale at your local Farm and Home Supply. In fact, it might even be under $10. Here's some of the best-selling items at $5. What about $6? Then $8. And all these for only $10. See hundreds of other Fall Dollar Day sale at your local store right now at farmandhomesupply.com.
Sometimes life throws bold moments at you, like finding the perfect vacation or finding the ideal location. At BOS, we're there to help you meet those moments with bold confidence. So whether it's managing money for future plans or getting what you need to start planning your dream, we're here to bring you a better banking experience. Make the bold move and switch to BOS today.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights. Bob Goff filling in for Matt Shuckman tonight and the Quincy Notre Dame Raiders. As I said earlier, going to Central State 8, a lot of guys went, ooh, that might be tough. UND, no issues so far. First Bankers Trust, of course, sponsors our Quincy Notre Dame coverage here on Muddy Night Lights, and we are about to talk to the voice of the Raider Sports Network, Eric Irvin, who is with Chad Dusterhouse over in Jacksonville tonight for the big Raider win, 35-21. Eric, are you driving back?
Not only am I driving back, my man, I'm in good company. Got Chad here with me. Got your boy Ben Marth in the back seat. We're just trucking along.
Did we stop at Taco John's or Taco Gringo?
No. Little Leo's Pizza.
Oh, you cannot go wrong with Leo's Pizza. Good call.
No.
Good call, gentlemen. Good call. Well, Ben is covering the game for us tonight. He's going to write up a little something, and we sure appreciate that. But tonight, as we said, First Bankers Trust brings us our coverage, 35-21, your final. Eric, tell me a little bit. I mean, I heard you, listen to a little bit of your broadcast, and it sounds like the Raiders were just able to just take control of this game. And again, their good, strong ground game continues to serve them well.
Well, their line really stepped up tonight. I thought that was the difference in the game. Jacksonville was huge. Both sides of the ball, both lines, they were big and strong. And Notre Dame, I thought, really did a good job of controlling it, particularly on the offensive side. You take away 4 or 5 big penalties, and Notre Dame, they might have won that game even bigger. But both teams had a lot of flags thrown at them. And bottom line is Ivan Hoon came to play tonight, man. He carried the load for him.
Yeah, I heard you shouting that young man's name a few times. But Eric, we all know the officials are infallible. They do a great job. They don't make mistakes. You just got to remember that when you're calling a game, man. Okay?
Absolutely, yeah. Hey, I'm sure they got a free pizza tonight, Leos.
All right, 35-21. Aside from the line play and Ivan Hoon's a big game, talk a little bit about the defensive side. And of course, they've got a kid over on that defensive side who just kind of runs the show over there, and he does an excellent job in Wyatt Mueller. But they did give up 21 points to Jacksonville, but Jacksonville's no slouch this year.
No, Jacksonville's a good team. They're like I said, their smallest offensive lineman goes 250. I got a couple of 300-pounders on the line. They've got speed all over the field. They're a good team. I mean, their 3 losses are to Springfield, Sacred Heart, and Notre Dame. The top 3 teams in the conference. So they haven't shown poorly. It was a 28-21 game with 6.5 minutes left after they had scored. You kind of wondered, what was going to happen here. But Notre Dame's defense has really carried them this year. This was the first game since the Quincy High game that they gave up more than 10 points. So credit Jacksonville for that. But yeah, Talon Scott, he's kind of their quarterback on defense. That kid gets the ball. I've told people who will listen that he goes sideline to sideline about as good as anybody I've seen at that level. And he just has a nose for the ball. But they've got a lot of guys on defense that absolutely they didn't show it always tonight. They had some tackles missed tonight, but for the most part, they get to the ball carrier or the receiver, they bring them down.
So where do the Raiders? I mean, obviously the Raiders are atop their division in the CS8. I mean, have they locked it up yet? Are they close?
They actually locked it up last week.
Okay.
When they beat Lanphier, because even with the loss tonight, the best that either South or Springfield or Sacred Heart would be to tie them. And Notre Dame had the head-to-head, so they just made a complete sweep of it tonight. So now they're 5-0 in the conference. They're 6-1 overall. They got 2 games left in the regular season that you don't want to get caught looking ahead, but they're both very winnable games, and I fully expect them to be 8-1 going into the postseason.
Currently they have a shot to. I mean, they're going to obviously get a home game early on. You would think, if not 2. you've watched this team for this program for a long time, from Coach Connell to now Coach Cornell, and they've had some really, really good teams over the years. And can this team make that hump, make it over that hump to get into a state title game?
Yes, I truly believe that, and I think Chad and I think Ben would agree. I mean, this team, I don't know if you want to call it fortunate or not, but you know they're playing a Central State 8 conference schedule, but they're going to be a 2A school in the postseason, and you know that's not to discredit the Maroa Forsyths and the Farmingtons and those type of teams, but the fact is there's not another 2A school who's played the kind of schedule Notre Dame has, and you know, when you face the kind of speed and athletes that Notre Dame has this season, I really believe this team has a long run in them in the postseason.
And again, as I mentioned in the lead up to this, a lot of us who follow Illinois football, when it was announced QND was going to go to the CSA, it's like, man, that's a big bite to take. But boy, they've made believers out of people.
Well, they have, and you know, hey, let's be honest. You know, they split the Central State 8 up this year, West and East. So Notre Dame didn't have to face Rochester. They didn't have to face Chatham this year. And it's not to say they couldn't compete with those two teams, but you know, facing Lincoln and MacArthur in the next 2 weeks is certainly a little bit easier task than what they would if they were playing those other two schools. But next year, there's a pretty good chance they'll play at least one of those two, if not both. So. You know, throw in that with a young Springfield team and a young Sacred Heart team, and they're gonna have the work cut out for them next year. But you know, I've talked to Jack Quinnell enough over the season, and he truly believed that this team could compete in this conference, and he believes they can compete long term, not just this year. So, you know, I think he's got something going there, and this is a team that they're gonna make some noise. I truly believe that. I know that. We hear that a lot over the years, you know, and it seems like you'd always run into a Rochester or a Central Catholic or somebody, but I just don't see a lot of teams in 2A matching up with them.
Yeah, being 2A is certainly one thing, but also you also mentioned Chatham and Rochester, those two traditional powers, but they haven't been bulletproof this year.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the way they handled Sacred Heart, the way they came back and beat Springfield on the road, I mean, I think Notre Dame would have been okay. I'm not saying they would have beat either of those schools, but I think they would have competed strongly with both of them. And again, as long as you get to 5 wins and get enough playoff points, once you get in the playoff, that's all that matters. And playing these type of schools can't do anything but help them, I would think. Yeah, no question about it. Well, you get home safely, and I know you will drive the speed limit because that's the sort of thing you do. And we thank you for your time, and get those boys home safely. And we will look forward to talking to you later, and look forward to reading what Ben puts together on his report for this game on Muddy River Sports tomorrow morning. I'm actually impressed by how well behaved they've been. We love you, Gib. Yeah, we love you too, guys. So, all right, thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. That's Eric Irvin, the voice of the Raider Sports Network, who got to call that game from Jacksonville tonight as QND. Again, clinched their division of the Central State 8, of the Eastern or the Western Division, with a 35-21 win over Jacksonville. Again, Quincy over Sterling as we take one more look at the Schottenkirk scoreboard, 63-6. Camp Point Central rolls over Triopia 56-0. Elmwood Broomfield over Macomb 31-28. Also on the Illinois side of the river on the Schottenkirk scoreboard, Illini West over Bureau Valley 34-7. Knoxville 80 over West Hancock 52. Pittsfield downs Pleasant Plains 41-14. And Brown County knocks off Jacksonville Route 52-32. On the Missouri side, Hannibal knocks off Moberly 56-18. Shane Halsey and I are going to spend some time in chatting about that game in the second hour of our program. Lawson over Monroe City 29-14. Macon over Highland 56-12. Centralia basically, I think, clinches the Clarence Cannon Conference title with a 28-14 win over South Shelby. And Clark County over Palmyra 34-28. North Callaway knocks off Mark Twain in center 26-20. 8-man football. North Shelby over Knox County 48-34. The Bowling Green Bobcats over Montgomery County 70-14. And Salisbury over Louisiana 24-8.
We're just getting started here on Muddy Night Lights. Lots more coaches to talk to, lots more guys who covered games to talk to. It's going to be a fun night, and we thank you for joining us here in the Refreshment Services Pepsi Studios. Once again, I want to thank Eric Irvin from the Raider Sports Network. Our Raider reports are brought to you by First Bankers Trust. We will come back with more Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Simply free checking with First Bankers Trust. No monthly fees and easy digital banking. Plus, show your school spirit with a Quincy Notre Dame Raiders Spirit card. Get yours today and proudly support the QND Raiders all season long. Go Raiders!
Safety for your home. Security for your family. Communication for your business. Rely on locally owned United Systems to keep you connected. Contact us today for more information. United Systems.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Neiman's, your neighborhood market.
My name is Jamie Kincaid, and we own Sterling Tax Service. I am a retired fireman. We came to Edwards Group originally to figure out where we were with our estate. For us, it was peace of mind that our daughter wouldn't have to try and figure out what was going on, because it would be impossible for her. It's an easy process. You get off the fence and do it, because you will appreciate it later.
Call Edwards Group today to schedule your path to peace of mind.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary health care. From state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open-heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional, why go anywhere else?
Safety for your home. Security for your family. Communication for your business. Rely on locally owned United Systems to keep you connected. Contact us today for more information. United Systems.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. And we're getting ready to have a chat with Rick Little, the head football coach at Quincy High School, on the United Systems hotline. And of course, our Quincy High Blue Devil reports are sponsored by First Bankers Trust. Blue Devils come away with a 63-6 win over second place in the conference, Sterling. And looks like the Western Big Six is all but locked up for the Blue Devils. Coach Little, are you superstitious, or you just want to not call yourselves conference champs yet?
Yeah, we still got work to do. I mean, that's
Okay.
I mean that. I mean, I obviously, yeah, I can see the scores and different things. Our guys can too, and feel good about it. But at the same time, it's always, I mean, it's just the way we're built. Like, it's always about getting better. It's always about getting better, finding the things that we didn't do well tonight. And I know it's, the average listener, casual listener, whatever, is probably like, yeah, give me a break. But it's the truth. There's penalties, there's different things, there's missed assignments. It's always about raising the bar, and that's something I think makes these guys super special. Is they, kind of take on that same attitude. So yeah, definitely proud of them and excited about where we're going, but still more work to do.
And senior night's always, it's a bittersweet time, and of course for you, because you have a senior who happens to live in your house. But what were your emotions out there like? I mean, again, you've been coaching your son for a long time, but again, this is senior night, so it's a little special, isn't it?
It is, and so I mean they're all. It's so this position I'm in is so unique, simply because of the obvious, right? I get to coach my son, who's also the quarterback, but I've also, I've been able to see all these guys, grow up, and you're just so you know them so well, right? And so it's such it's emotional, but I think too, the thing that I talk to them a lot about is like, listen, like I don't want to get nostalgic or reminisce or anything till the end, right? It's about, again, pushing the rock and continuing to go further. And my motivation to them now is like, fellas, it's called senior night for a reason, right? Because it's your last regular season home game, but that doesn't mean it has to be your last home game, right? So for us, the motivation now is like, hey, bring this thing back home, right? Keep winning, and that's something I think that they can do, and if they do, then we'll have lots of senior nights. That's the plan.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the big thing is once you hit the postseason, you don't want to make those long road trips up north or down south. You want people to come to a packed Flynn Stadium.
Yeah, it's a great place. It's a great place to be at on a football Friday or Saturday in the postseason. So yeah, that's the plan, right? That's the goal. And like I said, that's what it's so easy to be motivated to continue to strive to achieve these things.
You are ironically you're getting the reserves tonight as our friend Shuck is recovering a little bit. He's back home, by the way. So we're good to hear that. So. But your reserves also got a little time in the second half, and it's always good, though, isn't it, to get those guys who bust their butts in practice every day, to give them a little extended time in a game like this?
It is so good. It is so good. Like I said, I love every aspect of the program and the journey that happens to these players along the way. And part of that is sometimes buying your time and sometimes continuing to work and strive and get the opportunity. And when you get that opportunity to deliver, right? And so it's really easy to sometimes get caught up into this, it's not my time. And so like, I'm just kind of doze off here and not be into it. And you can tell, like when the guys hit the field, you can tell which guys have been constantly working and just waiting for their opportunity. And, more times than not, they deliver. And I thought those guys did a great job of that tonight. So it's super exciting for me to see them, go out there, play well, and just contribute to a great win.
Well, Braden had another nice game tonight. He's had so many nice games tonight with his 3 touchdown passes and his 359 yards. But his buddy, Mr. Rice, 5 TDs tonight. He was gobbling up all the scoring from everybody.
Yeah. Well, it's there's just so many weapons, right? So many guys that we have so many guys that makes us tough to defend. And Jay's a special back and a guy that I feel like a lot lately we've been getting tackled on the 1 yard line on some of these long passes, and so Jay is a perfect guy to guarantee that thing's going in for 6. And so, but he's so special in catching the ball and running the ball and making plays, and it's just like so fun to coach. All these guys and the talent that they have.
Well, I'm going to let you go enjoy this victory because I know you're going to enjoy it for about another 10 minutes and you're going to start looking ahead to next week. So congratulations on another big win, Coach Little, and Matt will be back here to chat with you next week, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, thanks, guys. You did a great job, and I mean, Matt's a tough one to replace, but you guys knocked it out of the park. So thanks for having me, and we'll do this again soon.
Appreciate it, man. That is Coach
Thanks,
Rick
guys.
Little for the Quincy High School Blue Devils. He joined us on the United Systems hotline, and our Blue Devil reports are brought to you by First Bankers Trust. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Schottenkirk scoreboard one more time before we take our next break. We just talked to Rick Little, and his Blue Devils still unbeaten, 63-6. They continue to plow through the Western Big Six. He says they haven't clinched anything yet, so we'll take him at his word. We spoke with Eric Irvin from the Raider Sports Network about that big Raider win. Their fine running back Ivan Hoon had a big day. Jacksonville did put up 21 points, the second most points the Raiders have allowed so far this year. But Q&D remains in the one-loss column and one of the highest touted teams in Class 2A. We'll be talking to Jack Cornell coming up here in a little while. We spoke to Brad Dixon earlier on the United Systems hotline, and his Camp Point Central Panthers just bowled over Triopia 56-0. Macomb, the Bombers took a tough one on the chin tonight. 31-28, Elmwood Brimfield knocks off the Macomb Bombers. Other scores from the Illinois side of the river: Illini West blasts Bureau Valley 34-7. Good win for the Chargers. Their Hancock County brethren not so lucky. West Hancock loses to Knoxville 80-52, 132 points. I'm going to guess that's the highest scoring game we've had in the area this year. Pittsfield Saukeys get a really good Sangamo win over Pleasant Plains though, 41-14. And Pittsfield, trying to rebuild the program and bounce back a little bit. Again, that's a very good win down in Pike County. Brown County over Jacksonville Route, 52-32. And let's take a look at our Missouri scoreboard. We're going to be talking to Shane Halsey here in the second hour. Hannibal downs Moberly 56-18. Pirates bouncing back after that tough loss last week when they fell to the Kirksville Tigers. Lawson over Monroe City, 29-14. Panthers running into some rough sledding lately. The Macon Tigers over the Highland Cougars, 56-12. Centralia over South Shelby, 28-14. That is probably for the Clarence Cannon Conference crown. We will be talking to South Shelby coach Adam Gutterman here a little later on. Get his take on this. Tough loss for the Cardinals. And we're going to talk to him and see what he thinks his chances are of his team possibly having any way to still get a shot at the conference title. But South Shelby's going to do some damage in the postseason. Don't worry about that, conference title or not. Clark County, the Indians, a big win over Palmyra, stunning the Panthers in Marion County, 34-28. In Rawls County, the Tigers of Mark Twain fall to North Callaway, 26-20 in emo action. Other emo action saw Bowling Green down Montgomery County, 70-14. Salisbury beat Louisiana 24-8, and in 8-man action, North Shelby over Knox County, 48-34. We got a lot more to go on Muddy Night Lights. The Schottenkirk scoreboard, of course, can't thank those guys enough for helping us out here. They've also provided Shuck with his truck that he can do for his Shuck on a Trucks. And now Matt not getting to drive that truck right now because of his little medical condition, but he will be back shortly, and he'll be driving that beautiful Toyota Tundra that Schottenkirk has provided him. He's even got magnets on the side that say Shuck on a Truck. It's great. It is a beautiful machine. And you know what? If he's on the shelf, then I think the publisher of Muddy River Sports should just drive that truck around and make sure it's okay and safe. I'll do that for you, Matt. I'll come get the keys later. Also, again, the United Systems hotline. Those guys, all of our coaches and broadcasters and people who we talk to, our friends at United Systems, sponsor that hotline for us. First Bankers Trust, they sponsor all of our Raider and Blue Devil reports. And, of course, we sit here in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. We have our Starry Star of the game. I have to have a consultation with Shane Halsey about that here coming up and who that star of the game is indeed going to be. But I'm just sipping on a little Starry right now because I'm getting a little parched as well. So, and then, of course, the entire program, this whole Muddy Night Lights episode, is powered by Farm and Home Supply. Now, with Matt being on the shelf, we had a little extra help tonight as I was trying to scramble and put together graphics and prepare us for this broadcast. And we have two new Muddy Buddies who are doing some work for us. Emma Dahlke and Aspen Genenbacher, and they are working here for us and doing just great work on the news side. But tonight I said I need you to put your sports skills to work and go find me scores, and by golly they did. Of course, those two young ladies are both graduates from the best journalism school in the world at the University of Missouri, so it was very easy for them to handle this task. And again, we got all the scores, and it was great. And Remington Yates, that guy pushes all the buttons. He's very sad back there because his Highland Cougars lost their game tonight. Remington, was it homecoming?
Yeah, it was homecoming tonight.
I'm sorry. That's okay. My Tigers lost their homecoming game too. So, and then, you know, Shane Halsey out hustling and getting Hannibal stuff for us. We're going to be talking to him here in just a little bit. Don Krim, he's going to have our write-up on the Quincy High Blue Devils. Steve Iyengar is going to wipe that pork chop and pork burger grease off his fingers and type away that big Camp Point Central win over Triopia. And then Ben Marth, if he survives Eric Irvin's driving back from Jacksonville, will be able to write up that Raider report for that big Q&D win over Jacksonville, 35-21. And we are going to be talking to Coach Jack Cornell coming up here a little later on in one of our First Bankers Trust reports. So we're almost done with the first hour. This hour is flown. We're still going to talk to Shane Halsey. We're still going to talk to Jack Cornell. We're still going to talk to Adam Gunterman. I might even talk to Remington Yates too and get talk to him a little bit more about some of the stuff going on. He does some work for an organization over there called Lewis County Scoops. We might talk to him about that endeavor and what they're doing over there. So again, got another hour or so to go. Stick with us. Grab yourself a Starry or your favorite beverage of choice, and if you want to put something in it besides ice, that's okay too. You are watching Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. We'll be back after this.
Simply free checking with First Bankers Trust. No monthly fees and easy digital banking. Plus, show your school spirit with a Blue Devil Spirit card. Get yours today and proudly support the Blue Devils all season long. Go Blue Devils!
Business telephone systems, enhance productivity, fire alarms, increase your safety, surveillance and security, ensures your peace of mind. Experience, technology, service, United Systems.
Hey, Abe. Hey, George. You know what? We love beer!
This election year, be sure to make the correct decision and vote jerseys. Over the last 4 years, we have helped put more money back in your pocket with our daily drink specials and incredible food deals. We have also made steaks great again with our partnership with GJY Beef Company. So when you are making your next dinner decision, make it Jersey's Bar & Grill in Camp Point, Illinois.
For 125 years, Hollister Whitney has designed and manufactured solutions for the vertical transportation industry right here in Quincy, Illinois. Now you have the chance to be a vital part of this quality-driven, family-oriented team. We have salaried and hourly positions available, both with excellent benefits and very competitive wages. Cutting-edge technology, a dynamic, engaging, and flexible work environment, the opportunity to achieve your full potential. Elevate your career to the next level at Hollister Whitney.
My name is Jamie Kincaid, and we own Sterling Tax Service. I am a retired fireman. We came to Edwards Group originally to figure out where we were with our estate. For us, it was peace of mind that our daughter wouldn't have to try and figure out what was going on, because it would be impossible for her. It's an easy process. You get off the fence and do it, because you will appreciate it later.
Call Edwards Group today to schedule your path to peace of mind.
Hi, I'm Rory O'Donnell with the O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home. As a Quincy University alum, I understand the impact a local business has on area athletics. That is why the O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home takes pride in supporting local athletic teams. We want to wish all of our area teams the best of luck this season. The O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home of Quincy, supporting local athletics for 5 generations.
Business moves at the speed of light. How can you keep pace with today's technological advancements in alarms, surveillance, and phone systems? 2 words, United Systems. Contact us today for your no-obligation business review.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. Shane Halsey, just back from America's hometown, where the atmosphere was probably a little happier than it was last week. Of course, they lost that game to Kirksville, and but now, and that was a road game, right? You got to go to Kirksville. Yes, I did. Avoided all the deer on Route 6. That's great. That's good. Tonight, you watched the Pirates come away with a 56-18 win. How was Coach Geschwender, and did he feel this was a good response?
First half, not necessarily. Second half, yes. They had 5 penalties in the first quarter. It was a little choppy. They were up 10 at the half, so the score was about where they wanted. But he was talking to his team after the game, and he's like, if we can put together a second half like they did, if they can put together a second half like they did tonight, very, very few teams are going to beat them. They were just about flawless in the second half. First half, that's kind of been the case with them in a lot of games this year. The first half is a little bit sluggish. There's some mistakes, some penalties and he even said, like, we executed well. We just shot ourselves in the foot with some penalties, and he took full responsibility for that. But then the second half, they really put the foot on the gas pedal and pulled away.
Hannibal just above the 500 mark now with this win, right?
Yes, that's a deceiving 4-3.
Yeah, no, because they played some good teams, and they'll be ready for the postseason. They always are. So, but now it looks like Kirksville. I think they were having a pretty tight battle last time I checked. I was not able to see.
I haven't seen a final.
They were, but it was a little closer than I think Mexico tonight, right? Mm-hmm. So they were having a tough battle there, but they're going to need help if they want to win the NCMC. But that's going to be a tall task, and again, a conference that is not going to be around much longer, which we'll talk to you about a little later. But I want to talk to you a little bit about Landon Essig and the game he had tonight.
I mean, it's the game you dream of as a kid. When everybody's getting their pirate dogs and settling into their seat, he runs the opening kickoff back for a touchdown, and then they have a fake extra point, 2-point conversion where the holder runs it in, and it's like, well, a lot just happened in the first. It's only 7:05, and a lot has already happened. And then he runs for a touchdown, catches a 40-yard touchdown, and then because why not? As if it wasn't enough, opening kick. It just so happened to be the opening kickoff of the fourth quarter, right when Moberly scored on the last play of the third quarter. He runs that back 85 yards for a touchdown.
That's a heck of a night.
That's a good season.
Yeah, no, he's
one night.
He's a very good player, and
he is so fast.
Yeah, Hannibal's. They've been blessed with some great players over the last few years. Of course, they've got the big one we all talk about a lot with who's up at Notre Dame now, and as in University of. But again, it's not like the cupboard was bare this year. It's just been one of those years where they've had a couple of hiccups, and but there's enough time left in the season, and I think you made a good point with Coach Geschwender, is the fact that they can indeed, if they play like this in the second half, they can do some damage in the postseason.
Yeah, it was they gave up one long touchdown, and that was. But at that point, the game was pretty much already decided. They'd already built a 30-point lead at that point. Other than that, the defense was flying around making plays. They forced a fumble, had an interception. They even recovered what was an unintentional pooch kickoff that they recovered. I mean, it was one of those nights where just about everything happened. There was even Moberly blocked a punt for a touchdown. There were 3 special. How often do you see one special teams touchdowns, let alone 3? So it was one of those wacky games, and then the Hannibal just kind of opened things up in the second half, and they just executed like Geschwender knows they can. They just have to put four of those quarters together. They're going to be almost unbeatable.
So if you're playing Northeast Missouri high school fantasy football and you had Landon Essig and the Hannibal special teams and defense, you'd had a night.
I think you'd safely win.
Let's run through the scores real quick, and then you and I are going to talk a little bit about the soon-to-be no more NCMC. So take a look at the Schottenkirk scoreboard. Quincy over Sterling, 63-6. QND 35-21 over Jacksonville. Camp Point Central, big win over Triopia, 56-0. Elmwood Brimfield 31-28 over Macomb. The rest of the Illinois scoreboard: Illini West 34-7 over Bureau Valley. Knoxville 80 over West Hancock, 52. Again, that looks like a Madden score. Pittsfield with a 41-14 win, good win over Pleasant Plains. Brown County downs Jacksonville Route 52-0. 42-32. The Missouri side, as Shane and I were just discussing, Hannibal, big win over the Spartans of Moberly, 56-18. Lawson over Monroe City, 29-14. Macon beats Highland, 56-12. Centralia over South Shelby, 28-14, in probably the de facto Clarence Cannon Conference title game. Clark County downs Palmyra, 34-28. Emo action. North Callaway spoils homecoming in centers. They beat the Mark Twain Tigers 26-20. North Shelby over Knox County 48-34 in eight-man football. Bowling Green downs Montgomery County in more Eastern Missouri action 70-14. And Salisbury over Louisiana 24-8. Shane, before we talk about the North Central Missouri Conference, so the scores tonight, any of those really surprise you?
The Clark County Palmyra one does. Palmyra had really been trending in the right direction, and it's a tough one for South Shelby too.
Yeah.
Again, but Centralia is darn good. Yeah. The South Shelby, you said it earlier, South Shelby will be just fine, but I know that's one they wanted.
No question about it. And yeah, that sounds like Palmyra had a few kids who are not playing as of right now, and maybe that probably didn't help them much. Brown County, you're done a lot of Missouri side of the river. Steve Einger's done most of our Illinois stuff, but I think that's a really good win for Brown County too over Jacksonville.
And that's a surprisingly high score,
right,
with a lot of the Brown County scores
yeah,
we've seen this year. Very good defensive team. And kudos to them. That's a good one.
And I guess the last one, just kind of, there's nothing more to say about Camp Point Central. They're on a roll, and until they have to play Calhoun again, they're probably not. They're probably going to be okay. But again, QND, I mean, just the way they have really come in and made a statement in their first year in the Central State 8. It's Jack Cornell, who we're going to talk to here in a few minutes. That's really impressive.
I don't think a lot of people saw that coming.
I didn't. I just thought, man, the SCS8.
We thought it would be. We figured they'd be competitive at the very least, but I don't think anybody saw
them to roll and win the Western Division title or whatever. That's, again, just a heck of a year for the Raiders, no doubt about it. So the North Central Missouri Conference, and been around since the 70s. They made the announcement this week. I know you talked to Clint Graham at Hannibal. Were you able to talk to some of the Moberly folks about it tonight too?
I was able to talk to Cody McDowell, the Moberly coach, and then I talked to Coach Geschwinder for a little bit afterwards. And just the overwhelming thing is it just stinks for the kids. And the big thing, I think, is going to be having to deal with travel. And two of those, I think, some of these, like the schools like Moberly and those and Marshall, with their location and size, I think might have a little easier time finding a new home than schools like Hannibal and Kirksville. The unique thing with them is they're big school districts with not a lot of big schools around them. So it's going to be kind of a juggling act, trying to weigh the pros and cons of all these different options.
Yeah, I think also when you take a look at it, and then Mexico, I mean, they could the conference that's got all the Jeff City and the Columbia schools in it. That seems like that'd be a natural fit for them. Mm-hmm. Again, but Hannibal and Kirksville, if they could find a home with somebody, but again, the question is who, because all these schools are they're just the same. They're just so much smaller. Even Bowling Green, who right now is just head and shoulders above everybody in the emo and just plowing through them, I would contend that Bowling Green would be better off in some sort of conference with Hannibal and Mexico than they would be where they're currently doing, because you can, again, and Mark St. Clair he's a Hall of Fame coach, just does a great job, and Bowling Green's been cranking out D1 talent. I get all that. But still, you going through and just blowing through everybody in the Eastern Missouri Conference by 40 and 50 points does not get you ready when you've got to play in your own class in the postseason. Mm-hmm. It's the antithesis of South Shelby, who plays all these bigger schools, and so they're ready, and they're still beating them. But again, Bowling Green, they're a good team. I don't want to take anything away from them, but I just want them, when they have to play the Lamars or whoever they end up having to face in game 2 or 3 of the playoffs, I want them, to be, battle tested and ready. So you are, of course, a St. Charles County native, and from Wentzville, and does Hannibal how good a fit would Hannibal be in the Gateway, and does the Gateway want anything to do with Hannibal?
There's a lot of question marks when it comes to that. One, they already have 3 divisions of 6 teams, which kind of disrupts the that's organized. And they would be at least, I'm just trying to do some mental math, the shortest drive they would have.
Troy,
which is still an hour or more. I don't think the GAC schools want that. I don't think Hannibal wants that.
Well, I mean, it's 6 1, half dozen the other. Hannibal.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to go to Marshall. I mean,
yeah, and just from what I've gathered, even like the Central Missouri Activities Conference, that seems like you have teams like Elias, you have teams like Rockbridge, you have the Jeff City, some teams that kind of fit the same profile that Hannibal does. Yes, they would have to travel, but like you said, they already travel to Marshall. They go to Mexico. They go to Kirksville. It's not like they're not used to it.
Right.
Not that it's
I think,
optimal.
I
but that's
think
kind of
that
what they've had to do.
conference, I think the Central Missouri Athletic Conference is a better fit for Hannibal. I really do. Sedalia's already, actually, I think that would be a great fit for Mexico, Hannibal, and Marshall, and even Kirksville possibly, and Moberly. If those two conferences could have some sort of merger, and they could have a North and a South division, I think that'd be a great thing if somebody really wanted to do that, because again, you got Moberly. I mean, it would be a good fit. Kirksville would then be the longest haul, but still, it's a straight shot down 63. It's 4-lane all the way, so it's not that big a deal. It's not like, when you're having to drive from Hannibal or Kirksville on lovely Route 6, or having to go all the way across to Marshall. And I think with that, in that situation, Marshall and Sedalia are already pretty close because they're both right there on 65, 50, whichever road that is, the north-south road that's over there on the western side of the state. So again, and they've got some time to figure it out. We have one more year of the conference, correct?
Yep, next year will be the last year.
But is Fulton in next year? Is Fulton in for one more year then, or is Fulton gone already?
Fulton is leaving after this year.
Okay, so they're going to be down to 5 teams next year.
Yep.
And then if they could, again, I think if they could come up with some deal where they did some sort of north-south mix with the Central Missouri Activities Conference, that could be a really good conference.
And from what I don't want, not that any decisions made, but that seems like, not that there's a top candidate, but like you said, it seems like the best fit when you consider the caliber, the size of schools in that conference. It's about your closest option, really, besides the GAC, really. Those two are pretty similar in terms of travel.
Well,
and just Hannibal's size and its location make it difficult.
Once upon a time, both Rockbridge and Elias were in the NCMC.
Elias, not so long ago.
Right, and I don't know if Jeff City's always been an independent, because under Coach Atkins back in the day, they were such a power and wanted to go play everybody. I don't even remember if they've had a conference affiliation before now. But the Jeff City football has been a little affected because they added a new high school in Capital City. So the scenario's totally changed because, we have Columbia Battle now. They've added all these new high schools, and Tolton, which I don't even think, Tolton's not in that conference, I don't think. So they've added all these schools in Columbia and Jeff City because those areas have grown. So it makes it so you'd be playing, again, Hannibal, they've played Battle in the past, but Battle hasn't been around that long. So you could have some old rivalries renewed if they jump back in with the Eliases and the Rockbridges and the Hickmans, and then you build some new ones up too. I think that would be the best case scenario. And again, the independent route would just be brutal.
It's a scheduling nightmare. It's already hard enough when they're only going to have 4 conference games.
Right.
It's already hard enough, and then when you're an independent, you have to. You don't have those games baked in, and it makes it 10 times harder.
No question about it. All right, you got to go right, and I got to go talk to Jack Cornell and some other coaches here coming up shortly. Thank you for your time, and thanks for your work. Good work tonight.
Of course.
All right. That was Shane Halsey, our reporter who was on the scene in Hannibal tonight. When we come back, we will be on the First Bankers Trust hotline and have a chat with Jack Cornell, the head coach of the Q&D Raiders. Another great win for the Raiders tonight over in Jacksonville. You are watching Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships It's the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Muddy Night Lights is also brought to you by Town & Country Inn and Nationwide Transportation.
The Smart Start Transfer Career Academy lets you get your associate's degree early, starting in high school.
I graduated my associate's degree on Friday, 2 days before I graduated high school on Sunday.
It allowed me to get way, way ahead.
Having my prerequisites done is going to help me a lot, as I will get to start a year earlier than I would have without it.
It's really easy to make good connections with people that actually care about you. They helped me plan things out in a way that I definitely wouldn't have been able to do on my own. It made it really easy for me.
I love to shop online, and one thing I'm not going to screw up is a piece of jewelry that I'm going to wear for the rest of my life.
And it's as simple as just being able to see it. Like, just being able to actually physically hold it and see it, that's different than like, oh, look, I'm on the internet. Like, let me just, that looks nice, I think.
Trying on rings and seeing different sizes and the different colors, and I just want to be able to touch and feel it and have the experience. Having the experience is going to be more important to me than just adding something to a cart and clicking buy now.
There are 3 things that she's going to get asked. How did he propose? How big's the diamond? And where did he get it?
I'm proud to tell my friends that, you know, this is where I got my ring.
I don't know, it just seems like it's kind of a no-brainer.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. We are live in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio, and on the United Systems hotline, we are about to talk to Jack Cornell, and our Raider reports are brought to you by First Bankers Trust. Coach, congratulations on a big win over the Crimsons.
Hey, thank you, Bob. It was a great night for our guys. Really proud of the way they fought all the way to the very end to get a big win on the road.
Sounded like the running game was working. Talked to Eric Irvin a little earlier, and he said that Ivan Hoon, and I watched a little bit of the game tonight, and that's what I saw. Yeah, he was your offensive line was ripping up some holes, and he was taking advantage of it.
Yeah, you know, I tell you, when Ivan Hoon is healthy, he's a tough back to bring down, and I think he's just finally really hitting his stride when it comes to being a running back, as far as having vision for the gaps and really understand the fundamentals of the offense. I mean, he's a really good runner, runs behind his pads, always falls forward. He's got really good speed, but there's a whole lot more to it than just that. And, you know, as you said, you mentioned the big boys up front. Our offensive line really had a tough challenge tonight. There's a big defense from Jacksonville, and we really, I thought, handled the line of scrimmage on both sides.
I'll tell you what, and also on the defensive side, you know, you guys your defense has just been so impressive this year. This was the second most points you guys have given up this year, but I think that had a lot to do with Jacksonville's offensive line, because they looked like men out there.
They were big, and we knew they were big and watching them on film, but just seeing them in person, I mean, you know, these are guys that I'm looking eye to eye. And they just really, it's a tough offense. Obviously, a wing tee and midline veer that Coach Brown's been running there for years and years. And that's always a challenging offense, because they, you know, can dress things up and do a bunch of different smoke and mirrors. But I mean, we had to have all 11 guys on defense playing lights out tonight. We knew they were going to make some plays, and they certainly did. But when it came time to make the big ones, our defense found a way to get it done as they usually do.
You know, you guys had already clinched the Western Division of the CS8, and congratulations on that, because myself and a lot of guys thought maybe you were, what were you thinking in trying to get in that conference, which is a monster, but boy, you have silenced any of that, and I think you've got to be pretty pleased with the way your young men have responded to this challenge.
I appreciate that, Bob. And I certainly heard a lot of noise when we got into this conference. Back in the spring, we made this announcement. I think a lot of guys thought I was half crazy, but I tell you, I really believe in this football team and this program that we're building, and just the type of talent that we have in this program right now. And even when we got up and coming, these are good football players. It's a good team that works really well together, and they understand the challenge. And anybody that knows our football team knows that we don't ever play a cupcake schedule. We play challenging teams week in and week out, no matter if we're in the Central State 8 or if it's going over across the state and playing whoever. Our guys aren't afraid of a challenge, and I think they enjoy that. They relish in that. I think that's what helps build the resilience that they have, and is really able to help them win games like they did tonight.
So basically, it's about the next two games, or as we wrap up the regular season, it's about staying healthy. It's about fine-tuning, but it's about building off those playoff points so you can host as many postseason games as possible at 10th and Jackson, isn't it?
It's a great question, Bob. I tell you, we got Lincoln coming into town next week. It's a homecoming week. Our guys are going to be excited about that. They're going to run a wing tee again like we saw last week. And, we just want to enjoy the opportunity to play another game at 10th and Jackson. This place means a lot to us. It means a lot to people that graduate from QND. And, obviously got a lot of distractions to deal with this week during homecoming week. We want our young people to have fun and enjoy themselves. But our football team needs to understand that we got a job to do next Friday night, and that's playing a good Lincoln team and trying to play our best football. Like you said, get healthy, fine-tune some things, but just keep trying to find ways to win games and be a process for the team and the distractions that we got next week.
Well, Coach, speaking of getting healthy, our man Shuck is home. So just want to let you know that.
Well, I gathered that, Bob, in talking to you tonight, and we're praying for Matt and hope he gets back on the street in no time. But nothing against you, Bob. You're a great guy. I really enjoy talking to Matt Shuckman on these Monday night nights.
Yeah, he is. He's a heck of a guy, and I think he'll be back next week. So thank you for your time, sir. Go enjoy that win. I know you will not enjoy it long, because I know you're already looking at getting ready for Lincoln. So congratulations to you and the Raiders.
Yes, sir. You bet. Thank you for having me on. Go Raiders.
That's Jack Cornell, and our Q&D reports are brought to you by First Bankers Trust. Of course, he was on the United Systems hotline, and we are here in the beautiful Refreshment Services Pepsi Studios. And again, just can't thank all the coaches and everybody who stepped up tonight, and everybody talking to him offline and texting them. It's like how's Shuck and everything. So yeah, no, Matt under the weather, but he's home now, and we are looking forward to having him back here in this chair next week. This has been fun. Don't get me wrong, but I got other stuff I got to do around here. But anyway, again, we know he's going to be back here shortly. Let's take a look at the Schottenkirk scoreboard one more time before we take another break. We just talked to Coach Jack Cornell of Quincy Notre Dame, and his Raiders hung 35 points on Jacksonville. The Crimsons 21, as QND had already clinched the Western Division of the Central State 8. So congratulations to QND, and again, two more games, 2 more wins. They're going to get a really high playoff number, and we'll get to see a lot of postseason football at 10th and Jackson. Quincy, we talked to Rick Little earlier as well on the First Bankers Trust hotline, the First Bankers Trust report on the United Systems hotline. 63-6 over Sterling. Jarius Rice with 5 touchdowns, and Braden Little with 3 touchdown passes. Great senior night for those guys. Camp Point Central, we also talked to Coach Brad Dixon earlier, and his Central Panthers 56-0 over Triopia, and he's got that team humming once again. Macomb Bombers dropped a tough one tonight, falling to Elmwood Brimfield 31-28. More Illinois scores. The Illini West Chargers, a nice win over Bureau Valley, 34-7. And in the video game score of the night, Knoxville downs West Hancock 80-52. Plitzfield with a big win over Pleasant Plains, 41-14. Saukeys get a nice Sangamo win there. Brown County 52-32 over, pardon me, the 32 from Jacksonville route. Shane Halsey and I were discussing that earlier, and yeah, that's a high point number for Brown County, but that's a good win for them as they knock off the Route Rockets. Missouri side of the scoreboard, Hannibal. That's the game Shane Halsey was at, and we spent a little time talking about that earlier. 56-18 over Moberly. Lawson beats Monroe City 29-14 as the Panthers take another loss. Macon over Highland 56-12. Centralia down South Shelby 28-14. Centralia probably, if they haven't locked up the CCC, they're certainly got their keys are certainly jangling in their pocket. Don't feel bad for the Cardinals though; they're still going to make a nice deep run in the postseason in their class. And Clark County over Palmyra 34-28. More scores from the Missouri side. North Callaway over Mark Twain 26-20. 8-man ball. North Shelby over Knox County 48-34. Back to 11-man ball in the Eastern Missouri Conference. Bowling Green 70 over Montgomery County's 14, and Salisbury over Louisiana 24-8. That is your Schottenkirk scoreboard. And again, got about a half hour or so left to go. We're still going to talk to Adam Gunterman, the head coach of South Shelby. We told you his Cardinals lost a tough one tonight, but they're resilient. And again, I think this is. I think they're going to be okay. They're still going to make a statement in the postseason. I think the folks in Shelby are going to be real excited about how far this team can go in November. So we're going to talk to him here in a little bit and kind of gather our thoughts and talk a little bit more. We also have to decide who the starry star of the night is. There are some great candidates, but we had an in-person view of one of them tonight. So I think we've got that figured out. So we'll have that coming up here a little later on from our Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. You are watching Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Simply free checking with First Bankers Trust. No monthly fees and easy digital banking. Plus, show your school spirit with a Quincy Notre Dame Raiders Spirit card. Get yours today and proudly support the QND Raiders all season long. Go Raiders!
Safety for your home. Security for your family. Communication for your business. Rely on locally owned United Systems to keep you connected. Contact us today for more information. United Systems.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Neiman's, your neighborhood market.
My name is Jamie Kincaid, and we own Sterling Tax Service. I am a retired fireman. We came to Edwards Group originally to figure out where we were with our estate. For us, it was peace of mind that our daughter wouldn't have to try and figure out what was going on, because it would be impossible for her. It's an easy process. You get off the fence and do it, because you will appreciate it later.
Call Edwards Group today to schedule your path to peace of mind.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary health care. From state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional, why go anywhere else?
Safety for your home, security for your family, communication for your business. Rely on locally owned United Systems to keep you connected. Contact us today for more information. United Systems.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Bob Goff, sitting in for Matt Schuckman, who a little under the weather tonight, and we are glad that he is home now. And so it's great to tell you guys that right now. Going to run through some conference scores, and we're going to do this on the phone and chat about this a little bit as I'm looking up the phone. But let's talk a little bit about the Western Big Six right now. Rock Island downing Galesburg 13-6. So the Rocks coming away with the win. It's been a bit of a down year up in Rock Island, but that's a good win for them over Galesburg, and so they come away with that one. And again, it's the second the Western Big Six. Again, it's Quincy's to lose. Even though Rick Little did not want to go down that road, so to speak, but they are undefeated in the conference. They are rolling through the conference, so I think that they are in a really, really good position. And again, they'll just keep working hard and come away with that conference title, and they will attempt to then see how far they can go in the postseason, which has been. That's what they want to try to make this long run here in the Western Big Six. So congratulations again to the Blue Devils in that. We talked a little bit about the conference in the CS8, and Quincy Notre Dame has clinched its share of the CS8 as far as the Western Division is concerned. They take on the Lincoln Rail Splitters next week. It's going to be homecoming at the Pit. And then they'll wrap up their season with their last conference game, and I think that they are in a great position for them to come away and make a good. And they're going to be ranked one of the top 1 or 2 ranked teams in Class 2A. And the Raiders, we had a really good chat with Eric Irvin earlier, and of course he's been the longtime voice of QND athletics on the radio. They now have the Raider Sports Network, and the Raiders have been a program that they've consistently won. They've consistently made a few, gotten a couple wins in the postseason, but they've not been able to crack it and get to that title game. So, but they might have a shot this year. I think this team, playing the schedule they've played, as Jack Cornell said earlier, and we spoke to him on the United Systems hotline, the schedule they play this year with the Central State 8, the bigger schools, the better athletes. No disrespect against other 2A schools, but there is a difference when you play in the bigger classes. And then, of course, they talk about Quincy High, the first game of the season. So I think the Raiders are really in a great position here. So it's going to be a fun November here in Quincy for sure. I think it's going to be a fun November throughout because in Adams County, because Camp Point Central's got a state title to defend. And again, we spoke to Coach Dixon earlier, and when you win that title and you come back, then people are like, "Hey, they won the title last year. This is a great program. We gotta step up our game." And he's felt that target this year. Their only loss was at Calhoun. I imagine they'll get another shot at them, and that's going to be a whale of a ball game. So you've got those teams just set, ready to go, and can certainly those 3 teams can all. They can certainly make some noise in November. I think when we're looking at the Illinois side of the river, those are the teams we're going to have to look at. On the Missouri side, Hannibal has just been a little snake bit this year. That loss to Kirksville really caught people by surprise last week. It shouldn't have. Greg Nesbitt, the former Hannibal High coach, the former coach at Truman State University, who's now coaching at the high school level. Back at the high school level, all that guy does is win. So it's for Hannibal again, it was a tough loss, but then they bounced back nicely against Moberly here. But then they are going to go in with a good record for the postseason, but their record hasn't been what it has been in the last few years, possibly. So they might have a little tougher road in the playoffs. And of course, this is a team that's played for a state title since we've had Muddy River Sports. They've played for a state title. So Hannibal is they've got some great athletes and some great players, and it's going to be tough for them. So, Monroe City lost to Lawson tonight, and I think that's something that, beginning of the year, people were thinking, Monroe City was the real deal, and they've really run into a bit of a rough patch now. And Centralia really took control of the Clarence Cannon. And again, I think Monroe City's got to they've got to right the ship. They've got some questions to answer here in the last 2 weeks of the season before they get ready for the postseason. I think we'll be talking to Coach Kirby here sometime the next week or so, and certainly want to get him back on and have him on Monday Night Lights again when Monroe City can put things back together a little bit. So. And again, we're going to talk to Coach Adam Gunterman here shortly with South Shelby too. His team took a tough one, and we're going to talk to him about how good that Centralia Panther team is. So and again, Bowling Green, how far can they go? They blow through the regular season. How far can they go in the postseason when they play the teams that are more closer to their own size? Mark St. Clair, again, Hall of Fame coach. He knows what he's doing. Got D1 talent on that team. Hopefully this is the year Bowling Green can make that deeper run into the playoffs. And then I guess the last team you want to talk about is mentioned South Shelby earlier. They've got a really good shot. I think South Shelby's probably got the chance to make the deepest run on the Missouri side. On the Illinois side, it could be QND. It could be Camp Point Central. It could be Quincy. I think we've got 3 teams all there primed and ready to go in November. So. Well, we are going to take another break, and when we get back, we're going to talk to, we've got Starry Star of the Night, we've got Adam Gunterman from South Shelby, we've got more Schottenkirk scoreboard to go through one more time. So got about another half hour or so here on Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
Your policy's updated.
Because we know your house is where their dreams begin.
Impressive.
Thanks, Caleb. And our agents are here to help you feel protected so your family can pursue their dreams. Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance.
Neiman's, your neighborhood market.
As a new hunting season begins, we observe a species most rare, the hunter incompetus. The hunting ritual begins. Already he stakes his claim by bringing a duck call to a deer hunt. Disaster strikes. A devastating blow to a long-suffering species. There may be no helping the hunter incompetus, but for everyone else, no other place has it all like Farm and Home Supply.
Tell my mom to pick me up soon. Hey, grab me one too.
Muddy Night Lights is also brought to you by Town & Country Inn and Nationwide Transportation.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
For 125 years, Hollister Whitney has designed and manufactured solutions for the vertical transportation industry right here in Quincy, Illinois. Now you have the chance to be a vital part of this quality-driven, family-oriented team. We have salaried and hourly positions available, both with excellent benefits and very competitive wages. Cutting-edge technology, a dynamic, engaging, and flexible work environment, the opportunity to achieve your full potential. Elevate your career to the next level at Hollister Whitney.
Welcome back to Monday Night Live, powered by Farmer Home Supply. I'm Bob Goff, sitting in for Matt Schuckman. We are live in the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. And on the United Systems hotline right now, Coach Adam Gunterman with the South Shelby Cardinals. Tough loss tonight to a really, really good Centralia Panther team. Coach, I know you've had better nights, but it's great to talk to you as always.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's, I mean, again, we know this is Centralia, you know, South Shelby and Centralia, two of the most tradition-rich programs in the Clarence Canyon, longtime rivals, always a great game, always a tough matchup. But this year, it looks like Centralia's really good this year.
You know, they are, and, you know, people have used the word upset and stuff like that to describe this game, and maybe it was, I don't know, but I'll say this much, hats off to Coach Forsey and that Centralia team, what they did tonight. And, you know, I told our boys after the game, you know, this doesn't define our season. The last time South Shelby was undefeated conference champs was 2005. The very next year, they lost to Centralia in the regular season, and they won the state championship. So, you know, keeping that intact, that, you know, we didn't lose a district tonight. We didn't lose some bigger goals that we have. And if we take our business next week and the week after, we still get a share of the CCC. So,
yeah.
You know, just staying high and doing what we do, and you know, trusting our process and getting better every week, and doing those things to get ready for, you know, making a push deep to the playoffs.
Now, correct. It's getting late, and I've got a lot of stuff going on here lately. Centralia, Monroe came away with that win.
They did, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, they won. So they're, you know, if all three teams take care of business from now to the end of this, there'll be a three-way tie.
Yeah, and Monroe City, of course, had the non-conference game tonight against Lawson, and they took it on the chin. So yeah, I was trying to think about that a while ago between that Monroe City Centralia game, and yeah. So again, a three-way tie. You know, it's I was thinking Centralia might have had a shot to have this wrapped up, but no, it looks like it certainly can go to a three-way tie. But you're so right, and I said this earlier. I said, look, South Shelby, you know, being one of the smaller schools left in the Clarence Canyon after some of the other smaller schools, you know, went to the emo or whatever, you know, you guys are playing up all the time. And this does nothing but get you ready for the postseason and when you're playing back in those other 1A schools.
Yeah, well, actually, we're actually Class 2 this year.
Oh, you're going to be 2 this year. Okay. All right.
Yeah, because the state went to they made Class 1 basically the smallest 36 schools in the state. So
okay,
we were about 8 kids away or 9 kids away from being in that Class 1. So we're playing up all the time. So even in the playoffs, but that's okay. I mean, hopefully we take care of business. We should be the 1 seed in our district and get to host all of that district playoff, and you know, keep moving forward.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I got confused on that a while ago. So, but you guys, again, you know, going there, and again, the tradition and everything you've got going there, and I think it's, you know, when you have a game like this, and again, not coming away you want, and again, like you said, this doesn't define you guys by any stretch of the imagination, that's for sure. Who's left on your schedule?
We have Macon and Palmyra.
Okay. Well, and, you know, Macon, big win over Highland tonight. Palmyra dropped one to Clark. So, again, I think the thing is to know that in the Clarence Canyon, you just don't know, because usually there's usually there's never hardly ever a runaway team in this conference. It's always there's going to be 2, 3, maybe 4 guys who are always fighting for it, and just like there is this year right now with the 3-way tie atop it. And again, you know that you might go in and think, yeah, we can get through these next 2 games and head to the playoffs, but you know that there's no given these next 2 weeks.
Oh, absolutely not. And especially, with Macon, they've won 2 in a row, and they've got their first 2 wins of the season in back-to-back weeks. So, they're going to be on a high a little bit with us coming off a loss. So, they're going to be ready to go on their senior night, I'm guessing, and our kids got to show up and be ready because, like you said, there's never a time that you can take a game off in this conference, and next week and the week after will be no different.
All right. Well, Coach, we'll let you get back at it because I know you're going to probably start looking at tape probably first thing in the morning of these guys. So anyway.
I already watched it once tonight, but yeah. So.
See? Yeah, you got to get the bad taste out of your mouth. I get it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Nobody wants to dwell on a loss. So, Coach, appreciate your time. Good luck the rest of the way.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, that's Coach Adam Gunterman, the South Shelby Cardinals again. So they do have a shot still for the share of the title. That's good news for them as well as for Centralia as well as for Monroe. Monroe did win that squeaker last week against Centralia. So 3 teams all tied. They could each just roll it on out. But again, the Clarence Cannon Conference. I mean, I grew up in that conference, even though my school's not in the conference anymore. But those are just some long-time, tradition-rich rivals, and they play hard every week. And it's just going to be a lot of those. Like I said, I think Centralia, even though they're not really in our coverage area per se, we still keep an eye on them, and I think they've got a chance to make a little noise in November as well. So, we've got a starry star of the night to crown here pretty shortly, so we're going to do that. We'll run through the Schottenskirk scoreboard one more time. Want to once again thank Coach Adam Gunterman of South Shelby. He was with us on the United Systems hotline. So we will come back. We'll have the starry star of the night and run through the scoreboard again and probably put a little early cap on the Muddy Night Lights tonight. So anyway, it's the internet. It doesn't have to be 2 hours. We can be a little short, but no, it's been a great night here. And again, it's been a lot of fun filling in for Matt. It's his baby though. I'm merely the I don't know what I do around here. I guess the conductor or whatever. But this is his show, and he has created this, and we've been a great team effort to put it together. And sorry he wasn't able to be here tonight because he was a little under the weather, but he'll be back here on this couch next week, and and all the coaches will be great and happy to talk to him one more time. So anyway, we will be back. Starry Star of the Night. You're watching Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home.
Sometimes life throws bold moments at you, like finding the perfect vacation or finding the ideal location. At BOS, we're there to help you meet those moments with bold confidence. So whether it's managing money for future plans or getting what you need to start planning your dream, we're here to bring you a better banking experience. Make the bold move and switch to BOS today.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
Hi, I'm Rory O'Donnell with the O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home. As a Quincy University alum, I understand the impact a local business has on area athletics. That is why the O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home takes pride in supporting local athletic teams. We want to wish all of our area teams the best of luck this season. The O'Donnell Cooks and Life Celebration Home of Quincy, supporting local athletics for 5 generations.
Looking for a new hangout or a place to eat? Gabe welcomes you to the Silver Dollar. Delicious menu options, daily lunch and drink specials, and 6 gambling machines. Come hang out on the patio with friends at the Silver Dollar, 7403 Broadway. Gaming and grill up on the hill. Silver Dollar.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary health care. from state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open-heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional, why go anywhere else?
Motor vehicle accidents are traumatic situations, and oftentimes they can result in very significant and permanent injuries. In Steve and Paula's case, they were hit by a drunk driver on the bridge. They realized very quickly that it was a significant accident and that they deserved to be reasonably compensated. Now, having worked for the insurance companies for several years, I know how to best present your case. If you've been in a motor vehicle accident, call McCleary Law.
From your trash to your recycling, you're doing your part. You can trust us to do ours. We're a team of people working hard for you, turning problems into solutions and waste into possibilities. We're Republic Services. We haul it, we recycle it, we convert it, we even electrify it. We work where you work. We live where you live. We are Republic Services.
Welcome to Muddy Night Lights. Welcome back. Powered by Farm and Home Supply. It is time for our Starry Star of the Night, and our man Shane Halsey had a front row seat in America's hometown for the Landon Essig Show. Again, if you had Landon Essig in your high school fantasy football draft, and if you had the Hannibal special teams and defense as well, you're going to win your game this week. Landon Essig, listen to what he did. 2 kickoff returns for touchdown. He ran the opening kickoff back. You had a pirate dog and a soda, you were in line, and probably didn't even get to see that one. Well, then he ran another kickoff back. He had a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. So congratulations to Hannibal Pirate Landon Essig. His team came away with the big win over the Moberly Spartans, 56-18. Landon Essig is our Starry Star of the Night. We will come back with our final break. Then we're going to come back and one more time of the Schottenkirk scoreboard and get you all the scores wrapped up. And then we're going to say nighty-night. And, of course, you can watch this if you're not watching it. And if you want to watch it again tomorrow, if you were so enthralled and enthused by watching this tonight, you can watch it again tomorrow because it'll be instantly loaded up on the Internet. That Internet's a great thing. I hear it might stick around for a while. So we will be back with one more Schottenkirk scoreboard right after this. You're watching Muddy Night Lights.
Hey you. Yeah, you watching this video. Did you know this weekend at your local Farm and Home Supply, there's a bucket sale that literally sells itself? Yes, I'm telling you to come by me for only $3.99. You can get 15% off anything I can carry. Whether that's clothes and shoes, tools and pet food, or snacks and drinks, maybe something for hunting season. I mean, look at me. I'm so versatile, so spacious. This bucket sale's only this weekend. Stop by before this sale kicks the bucket.
Hey, grab me one too.
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships is the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
The Smart Start Transfer Career Academy lets you get your associate's degree early, starting in high school.
I graduated my associate's degree on Friday, 2 days before I graduated high school on Sunday.
It allowed me to get way, way ahead.
Having my prerequisites done is going to help me a lot, as I will get to start a year earlier than I would have without it.
It's really easy to make good connections with people that actually care about you. They helped me plan things out in a way that I definitely wouldn't have been able to do on my own. It made it really easy for me.
If you've been in a motor vehicle accident, contact McCleary Law.
There was nowhere to go. We were on a bridge.
All of a sudden, a guy started going over in our lane and hit us head on.
I couldn't even breathe. It was just unbelievable that it even happened.
We needed to get a hold of an attorney, and our first thoughts was to get a hold of Dan McCleary. Everything's pretty easy when you deal with Dan.
He got us way more than we expected to get.
We don't charge anything until we win your case. Call McCleary Law.
Welcome back as we wrap up another week of Muddy Night Lights. I'm Bob Goff, sitting in for Matt Schuckman. Matt will be back next week, as a little under the weather, but we had a great week here, and we want to thank all the coaches and everybody who participated and the people who called in. Had a great chat with Eric Irvin of the Raider Sports Network. Our man Shane Halsey also sat on the couch and visited for a while, and we talked about Hannibal football and the demise of the North Central Missouri Conference. But first, before we say goodbye, one more look at the Schottenkirk scoreboard. Quincy High School, Big Western Big Six win over Sterling. Sterling came in, I think, second place in the conference. It's Quincy and everybody else in the Big Six this year. Quincy Notre Dame, it's also Quincy Notre Dame and everybody else in the Central State 8's Western Division. So they win that with a win over Jacksonville, 35-21. Camp Point Central, 56-0, as the Panthers continue to gear up and prepare for their postseason defense of their title. Elmwood Brimfield over Macomb as the Bombers drop a tough one, 31-28. Illini West over Bureau Valley, 34-7. Knoxville over West Hancock, 80-52. Pittsfield over Pleasant Plains, 41-14. Brown County downs Jacksonville Route, 52-32. Good high point total there for Tom Little's Hornets tonight. On the Missouri side, Hannibal, 56-18. Big win for the Pirates over the Moberly Spartans. Lawson knocks off Monroe City, 29-14. Macon over Highland, 56-12. Centralia beats South Shelby, 28-14. Adam Gunnerman, he set me straight. What that means, because Monroe City knocked off Centralia last week, that means that we are in a three-way tie atop the Clarence Cannon Conference. So we may have tri-champs in that conference this year. As you know what, those are some good football teams, so they all deserve a share of that crown, that's for sure. So Clark County over Palmyra, 34-28, also in Clarence Cannon action. North Callaway spoils the homecoming for the Mark Twain Tigers in Rawls County, 26-20. North Shelby knocks off Knox County, 48-34, an 8-man ball. Bowling Green over Montgomery County, 70-14, and Salisbury over Louisiana, 24-8. That is our scoreboard, and Week 7 is done. Only 2 more weeks in the regular season, and as we get ready for postseason action coming up in the not-too-distant future, and it's going to be a wild ride. I think we've got a few teams in this area who we're going to be seeing play very late in November, and that's what's going to make it great. So, once again, we can't thank our sponsors enough here. We have First Bankers Trust, who sponsors our reports from Quincy Notre Dame and Quincy High School. We've got our United Systems hotline. Everybody who calls in, thanks United Systems for that. Those scoreboards we just showed you, Schottenkirk. They also provide a truck for Shuck, so you can do Shuck on a truck. And I'm going to borrow that truck if he doesn't get his butt out of bed. And we've also got our studio, the Refreshment Services Pepsi studio. It's been a long, long night. And, of course, our headline sponsor, our marquee sponsor, Farm and Home Supply. Just a great locally owned family operation, great store. And, of course, we are powered by Farm and Home Supply. That puts a wrap on Week 7. I want to once again thank everybody who chipped in, our Muddy Buddies, of course. You know, Shane Halsey leading the way. We had Don Krim We had Steve Iyengar, we had Ben Marth all doing reports for us that you're going to be able to read all of those tomorrow on Muddy River Sports. Probably won't read them tonight because I'm going to go get a little bit of sleep before I start publishing everybody's stuff in the morning. Also, Remington Yates, he pushes all the buttons and he does a fantastic job for us, and we're really happy to have him aboard. And don't forget to check out his work on Lewis County Scoops as well. And we're going to let Remy talk a little bit more, maybe one of these shows here. He's been a fantastic producer for us. And we had a little extra special help tonight because we were a little short-handed with guys here, there, and everywhere. And two of our newest reporters, Emma Dahlke and also Aspen Genenbacher, they helped me find scores. Now, these young ladies, they're not the biggest sports fan in the world, but they're of the age where they know how to use the internet, and they track down scores lightning fast. We had everything in before showtime started, and that enabled me to get the graphics done, and can't say enough for the help we got from those young ladies tonight. Anyway, this, not only Muddy Night Lights, but Muddy River News itself is a total team effort. It's not just one person, it's everybody. I mean, my ugly mug might be on here more often than not, more often than everybody else's, but it's the entire team. And when one of our teammates is down, as in the case of this week, we all step in and pitch in to help. So can't thank everybody enough around here. Muddy River News, Muddy River Sports, MuddyRiver.tv. We just work really hard to try to bring you the best in local news and sports information all around both sides of the river. So, Muddy River News is our home and our news, and we're proud of that slogan. We're also proud of Muddy Night Lights, and we're proud to say goodnight for Week 7. Matt Schuckman will be here. He better be here, because my wife does not want me to stay out late on these Friday nights because I'm getting way too old for this. But anyway, thank you guys again for watching. You've been watching Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.